Right. It looks like it is exactly 2 p.m. So let's start this info session. So, hello everyone, and welcome to this NetSuite new release info session. My name is Lola Keskikallio, and I work as a NetSuite consultant here at Greenstep. And today I have my colleague Ulla Kuronen in the studio with me. Hi, Ulla.
Hello. Hello.
Nice to have you here.
Thank
And
you. It's nice to be here.
excellent. And before we start, I would just like to remind you, everyone, that you can send your questions. You should have a section in your Teams that says Q&A, so you can pop your questions there. And by the end of this webinar, we will then answer your possible questions. So let's begin the webinar. As you might know, many of you already know, NetSuite is upgraded 2 times a year. And now currently we have the first update for this year. And maybe this is already known to you. You customers, you are upgraded in 3 phases. Some of the customers have already been upgraded in the first phase, but typically most of the customers are upgraded in the second and third phase. So currently many customers are being upgraded. And if you're still upgraded, it's getting close, and you still want to order the release preview, please do it pretty fast. So as you know, the release preview, it's a copy of your production account. And in this release preview, you can test all of the new features. And you can order it up to a couple of weeks before your actual upgrade date. So you can use this release preview environment until you are upgraded. And then NetSuite will remove this release preview account. And your company administrators, they can order this release preview. It can be done from your center setup company release preview, or you can order it from your release preview portlet. So 2 different possible ways how to order it. Well, now, as I already mentioned the release portlet, let's dive deeper into this release preview portlet. So usually this release preview portlet, it's added automatically to your dashboard. And if you can't see it at the moment, you can of course add it yourself. And the portlet, it's added when you go to your dashboard, and on the right upper corner, you have a text that says personalize. And when you click this text, you will see all the possible portlets available, and the release preview portlet is one of these portlets. Well, what can you then do? What can you see on this release preview portlet? You can see your exact release date, new release date. And usually the date is added a couple of weeks, 3 to 4 weeks before the actual update date. You can also find the release notes from this release portlet. You can also find some NetSuite's own recommendations. So you can see the test plan that NetSuite recommends customers to use. You can also see NetSuite's top picks or favorites from NetSuite blog post. So pretty interesting stuff going on there in the release preview portlet. Well, as I mentioned, release notes. Once again, we had notes this time about 60 pages, so a lot to go through. And also, NetSuite actually gave us eight versions of these release notes. So a lot of updates going on. And now our release team has gone over these notes, and now we will share these notes and our topics to you. So let's dive deeper into these release notes. Here first, we have some administrative updates. So as we have mentioned in our previous release info sessions, the SMS voice call two-factor authenticator method is now ended, or actually it has already ended. So NetSuite stopped this way of authenticating on the 1st of March. And all users who had this selected, they should now change it. So if they haven't changed it now it's the time. And you can change it from your own dashboard. There's the settings portlet where you can do this change. And also then the administrator can reset the settings for individual users. Then we also had another interesting update to the user interface. So from this release, you can select up to 5 favorite customers or items in the sales order transaction. And these favorites, they are then displayed first in the list, as you can see in this picture at the moment. Very interesting, something new to the user interface. And also please note that these favorites, they are specific to your NetSuite role and account. So if you use a different role, you will have to select the favorites again. Good to note this. All right, and next topic. Now I will give the stage to Ulla. Thank you.
Thank you, Lola. From this new release, I want to tell you about 2 new features. These are not totally new. The both are released earlier. The first one that I'm going to tell you is a global payment tool. It's implemented in 2022, but now we are having some good updates for it, and that makes it more usable in NetSuite, and that's why we are talking about it now. This feature enables you to process payments for a single entity having multiple bank details. So you can process payments from primary or secondary bank details by using the entity bank list on the EFT subtab. You can find the subtab and the entity bank field from the following transaction types. These are for vendors, so bills, bill credit, bill payment, commission, and expense report. And here we have the picture of the EFT subtab, and you can find the entity bank field from there. All these transactions you can process by going to payments, global payments in your NetSuite account. And you can notice that with this tool, you are able to use the same payment templates that you already have in NetSuite, and you are using in EFT payments. And the most important thing that why we are telling this now is the new feature in this update, that after this release, these transactions are available also for approval routing and batch creation. We can move next page. So, in case that you have multiple vendors with primary and secondary bank accounts, and making payments for them requires constantly changing primary information between bank accounts. This tool enables the bank account to be selected in the transaction. So you don't need to specify the bank account behind the vendor record and use this primary or secondary specification there. This tool works a little differently than the normal EFT bill payment tool that we usually use. So you need to notice few things. Only transactions with entity bank selected in the vendor bill will show up on this tool. And also after this release, these payments that have this bank account there behind transaction, they are not show up on the EFT bill payment tool. So if you use this tool, it might be necessary to create a reminder for transactions without Entity Bank to ensure that all transactions get really paid. And then another new feature, it is also released earlier, I think last summer, but now we are having some updates to it also. This is actually a suite app, not a feature, and it's called Costed Bill of Materials. With this suite app, you can have complete view of all material and conversion cost for an assembly item based on selected bills of materials revision and optional routing. If you are using routing, if you are not using routing, you can view only like material cost and different version for those. You can calculate the cost of an assembly item based on its components cost and conversion cost. And you have option to use different cost sources. It displays the total cost breakdown of an assembly item by its bills of material, operation cost, and cost types. And key benefits that you can have by using this feature is that it provides you full visibility to see the potential cost to manufacture an assembly item with selected bills of material and optional routing based on costing method, purchase price, or item default price. It gives you ability to view the cost breakdown of a bill of material revision as part of product engineering and costing process. So it gives you a good and efficient information for cost management. So what is new in this release is that you can find a new simulate button from the report, and that button you can use to simulate the costed bill of materials report by modifying the unit cost values for a non-assembly item available. And then we can quickly see the picture. And in this picture, we can see the view that you have in NetSuite. This is same time, this is also the report. You can download this as a report, and you can also send this by email for selected persons. And in header of this view, you can choose the revision you want to review. And if you use, for example, manufacturing routing, you choose those options here also, and what kind of material cost options you have. And after those options, you can see on subtabs, you have in here, you can see the material cost subtab, where is only used components on this revision. And on next subtab, you have the cost of assembly. So you can see the phases of the manufacturing. And in the last subtab, you have the fully exploded view from both material and work. And in this view, you can analyze the cost differently. Thank you. That was all from me, and Lola can continue.
Thank you so much, Ulla. So here was our highlights of now this release 2024.1. And again, we would like to remind everyone of suite ideas. So this is our way to influence on what NetSuite is developing. So you can vote for ideas, or you can actually send in your own ideas as well. So please remember sweet ideas. And let's see if we had any questions. We actually had one question come beforehand, and it was related to the Suite app, the costed bill of materials. And the question was that where can you actually enable this Suite app or download it? So Ulla, could you go through this for our audience?
Yeah, of course, good question. As most of Suite apps, this is also you can find it from your marketplace. So in your own NetSuite marketplace with the apps, there you can find it.
Thank you.
Download. Yes.
Thank you. Very good. And now it seems there's no more questions. Our time is used. So thank you everyone for attending. If you have any questions, concerns, issues, please contact us at servicedesk@greenstep.fi. Thank you for attending and have a nice day, everyone.